In a Quiatuca village surrounded by tall palm trees and dusty footpaths, lived a poor widow named Gozi. She was known for her quiet strength despite her deep sorrow. Years ago, her husband, Chukwuma, had died suddenly, leaving her with only their baby boy, Obinna. From that day, she raised him alone, weaving mats, selling vegetables, and fetching water for people to earn coins to feed him. But there was one thing Gozi treasured more than anything else in her life. It was a beautiful Ankara wrapper her husband bought for her during their last Christmas together. The wrapper had bold red, gold, and green patterns that sparkled under the sun. Anytime she tied it around her waist, she felt her husband's warm embrace again, as if he was saying, "Encam, stay strong. I am with you." One hot morning, Obinna woke up shivering violently. His forehead burned with fever, and his eyes rolled back weakly as he whispered, "Mama." Gozi rushed to his bamboo bed and touched his chest. It was as hot as fire. Her heart began to beat rapidly with fear. She mixed all the herbs she knew: bitter leaf water, uziza leaf steam, and palm kernel oil, but nothing worked. His fever only worsened. Desperate, she carried him on her back to the small village chemist. The old man checked him and said, "Mama Obinna, you need to buy these hospital drugs quickly, or his fever might damage his brain." She collected the list and checked her wrapper where she usually tied her little coins. There was nothing left. She had spent her last market earnings buying gari and dry fish the day before. Gozi walked home with tears rolling down her cheeks. Inside her hut, she knelt on the mud floor and cried out to God, "Kayamo, do not take my only son from me. He's all I have. Show me what to do." As she raised her head, her eyes fell upon the folded Ankara wrapper hanging on the wall. She stared at it for a long time, her tears dropping freely onto the dusty floor. That wrapper was her last memory of her husband. It was her pride and dignity as a woman in the village. But Obinna's soft cough broke her thoughts. She stood up slowly, wiped her tears with the back of her hand, took down the wrapper, folded it neatly, and tied it on her arm. Then she walked to the village market barefoot. The sun was harsh on her skin, but her mind felt numb with pain. At the market, she approached a cloth trader. "My sister, please buy this wrapper from me. I need to save my son." The trader opened it, admired its colors, and asked for the price. Gozi mentioned a small amount, just enough for the drugs. The woman looked at her deeply. "Gozi, are you sure you want to sell this beautiful wrapper for so little?" But Gozi only nodded as tears filled her eyes again. After collecting the money, she walked to the chemist, bought the drugs, and returned home. This time, she wore an old faded cloth around her waist. It was torn at the edges, but she did not care. She gave Obinna the drugs with pap and prayed beside him all night. By dawn, his fever broke. The little boy opened his eyes, smiled weakly, and whispered, "Thank you, Mama." Gozi cried tears of joy as she hugged him tightly. She did not mind her faded cloth. Her son was alive, and that was all that mattered to her. Years passed. Obinna grew into a strong, intelligent young man. He studied hard, got a scholarship to the city, and became a successful businessman. But he never forgot the sacrifice his mother made for him. One Saturday, he returned to the village. He walked into their old hut and saw his mother still wearing old faded wrappers, though her face glowed with peace. He knelt before her with tears in his eyes and placed big shopping bags before her. "Mama," he said in a trembling voice, "you sold your only wrapper to save me. Today, I have brought you many beautiful wrappers to wear with pride." Gozi opened the bags slowly. Inside were bright Ankara wrappers, lace materials, and George wrappers shining with gold threads. Tears filled her eyes as she touched his cheek. "My son," she whispered, "may God bless you beyond what your eyes can see." That Sunday, she walked to church in one of her new wrappers, her head tied high. Other women admired her beauty and blessed her. But in her heart, she whispered a prayer of gratitude for her son and for God's faithfulness. A mother's love is deeper than the ocean. Cherish her while she lives.